Okay, good afternoon, everyone, at least here in Finland this afternoon. And yes, I already know I have way too many slides for 10 minutes, and I'll do my best to confuse you. And yeah, let's start. We spoke already a lot about learning environment, and for some reason, I sometimes have difficulties to connect schools with learning environments because I feel that they actually do a good job to hinder the learning the natural way how kids usually do. If we think that we give them a sandbox and we put a little toys on the side, what starts to happen, what will be created. And too often I see that regardless whether we are from the profession, how we try to plan the best possible learning environments, those objects actually speaks a lot and set a regulation for the kids how they need to be used. And I see that kind of from the other side, that how many obstacles we actually set, even we have a good attentions to help the kids. And here, as we see, that's only one definition of the environment or learning environment. And there's two words I want to point out: safe or safety and inspiring surroundings. And if we ask from the students if these two elements are present, not too often, we can create visual, very beautiful things, but there are a few key elements, at least from my experience, what the safety means, what can be done, what are the seen and unseen things, what's going on in the classrooms. I think teachers play the most crucial role regardless how the environment looks like, regardless of the culture or whatever facilities there is presence. Support need to be given to all students. Too often it's only focused on those who have special needs. Flexibility, I want to speak about the space and also with the pedagogy to understand the different needs of the kids. And it's not only what kind of personality they have, but we know that things happen, days are different, weeks are different. Our own moods or the way how we behave with the kids changes. I would say that I have probably tried everything what's possible and impossible in the school environment. And I have started with 3 groups that I try to make the classroom to look as boring as possible. Before the kids came, so there was nothing inspiring, and that's probably how the most classroom looks like. And then just to observe for years and years and years what will happen, what kind of ideas the kids want to bring in, and what if we start to implement them, what will happen in terms of bullying, in terms of the social life amongst the kids, what's the connection, the relationship between the teacher and the student and amongst the students. So this is only a lot of slides. Maybe you have seen this advertisement, but let's see, that's a very short one. One thing I would like you to focus on, that what had to be done, or what are the steps behind that such a thing can take place, what we witness on this short video. As we see on this video, the classroom itself wasn't too fancy, very traditional. But if we can create such an atmosphere, such a team or group feeling that you are supported, and that is way, way more important from my perspective than basically anything else. That they feel safe, they feel supported. And too often, I think we blame that if we would have resources, not to understand that how much we have the most important resources among us. Kids are creative if we give them enough space to be kids in their own environment. What the encouragement means in the meanwhile, while we're working with them, how much we offer them opportunities. And all the photos you see from my previous classes doesn't mean that this is something you are aiming, but it means that if we start from nothing and how eventually the classroom start to turn towards the kids' life, what's around them, their ideas, their innovation are taken seriously, and they have been applied into the daily schooling. And yes, there has to be a balance. It doesn't mean that you try to only support physicality or embodiment or activate the kids. There has to be boring times, but only this occasion, there was a lot of news. Kids don't read anymore, they don't write anymore. Few little things we changed it. They could climb up the ladders near to the ceiling, and we had every day 10 minutes for reading. And I had 7 diagnosed kids who has a really, really difficult time for concentration. But they were amongst the others, and I would say that we have been witnessing amazing things, what can happen in classrooms. I could share a lot of stories that why we have simulators. Shortly, there was 2 families, they couldn't afford a driving license. So I work with the driving school. So we had this collaboration, and I think we are probably the only school or class who provided for 20 euros real driving license to drive a tractor or a moped for the kids, because we integrated to our schooling programs. And then we have this racing chair, and someone got an idea, I want to have such a thing. So then kicked in the 3D printers, and we designed it, and then they printed things. All the young kids learned the rules, how to act in a traffic. And for example, this boy was advised by a schoolmate how to drive a car.
Sammuu vaikka sulla on... Mitä vaan kytkin pohjassa? Mä tiedän. Mitä tässä pitää tehdä, ettei sammuu? Kytkin pohjassa.
Hoping that you have to use the clutch.
Se oli kyllä niinku reiskaan lähtöpakka. Joo. Nyt pitää kyllä... Ja sitähän nää pystyy vaan niinku hyppimään sun.
And then one of my colleagues from Egypt sent a picture that it's not only about my class, that in the 18th century, the kids had some freedom, and that's kind of cool thing that when the teacher goes out, then the real life begin. And I think we should, I still see like a calmness on this photo, and we know that the globe spins, but it can also swing if we give some freedom for the kids. So how do we foster creativity? We shouldn't be afraid of the ideas. Just if we are able to foster the kids' idea, anything can happen. Somebody got an idea with the perfect snowballs. Let's make this one. We had Einstein competition. One girl saw a dream that when she won this Einstein trophy, that the Einstein woke her up during the night and his eyes were glowing. So that created an idea that let's make a little lights for the Einstein now. So So up till this day, I just heard from this student's mom that that's maybe the most important memory from her schooling time, that Einstein is looking at her every time she wants. And one last thing to close up my little presentation. With this little video clip, try to find the balance with your use for your body and with being still on your place. So thank you. I think you might have a couple of questions in the discussion part. So thank you for your attention, and let's move on the program.